Welcome to the training course that will introduce you to the programming language called Swift. Swift is a new programming language created by Apple. It was publicly introduced for the first time in June 2014 at the Worldwide Developer Conference. Swift is designed for creating applications for iOS and OS X platforms. It was built from scratch. When they developed Swift, Apple took all the best features from C and Objective-C and added many tweaks and tricks for programmers. With Swift, developing software for Apple platforms has never been easier. Swift is very friendly to those who have no prior experience with programming. The playground tool available with the Xcode environment makes it possible to experiment with the language and instantly check the results of changing the code without the compilation. All the screens in the presentation come from this tool. Who is this course for? It's both for seasoned programmers who know Objective-C, Java, or C#, and for beginner developers who want to use Swift to start writing programs for iOS or macOS. What will you need to fully use the course? Most importantly, the Xcode development environment. All the examples shown in the course use the latest available version, Xcode 6 Beta 7. It's good to remind those who are just starting their adventure with programming for iOS and macOS that Xcode is an integrated development environment that makes it possible to create, edit, test, and debug programs. This environment is available for free from Apple. Of course, we'll also need a Mac computer with the latest version of OS X, in our case, Mavericks. The latest Xcode requires this system for operation, so if you use an older version of OS X, it's good to think about migrating. Normally, you can download Xcode for free from the Apple Store. In the case of beta versions, it's necessary to register to the Apple Developer Program. Until recently, to download a new Xcode in beta version, we used to need to have a paid account for $99 a year. But from June 11, 2014 on, beta versions are available for all program participants, including the ones with free accounts. This training is an introduction to the Swift language, so we'll focus on the basics. I'll tell you about the Swift language syntax, its key elements. We'll also learn basic programming techniques and constructions. To learn to write, you have to write. This is advice usually given to aspiring authors, and it's the same case with programmers. Programming can only be learned by practice, by writing programs on our own. That's why we'll start from a basic program which can be found in almost all handbooks on programming languages. The Hello World program. It looks like this. As we can see in the slide, it's a simple calling of the printin function defined in the standard library of this language. This function displays a value on the display, the string of characters passed to it as an argument. The program on the screen is a complete program written in Swift. There is no need to import any additional libraries or specify the initial function of the program, an equivalent of the main function from C. Commands don't have to end with a semicolon, as in Objective-C. There is also no need to return any value from the program. Obviously, this program is very simple, and to create more interesting applications, we have to introduce some additional elements.